Right, loads to get into. Darmish, Benjamin SEŠKO, right? Man in demand. What's the latest development on him?
Yeah, this one looks like it is developing. Something's going to have to come to a head sooner rather than later with this one, you would think. Manchester United now expected to make a formal offer to RB Leipzig for their striker, Benjamin SEŠKO. They have been in talks, as we have been reporting on Sky Sports News, over what they would be prepared to pay for Benjamin SEŠKO. Remember, Newcastle United, they're in ongoing talks with RB Leipzig over the structure of their deal because they've already made an offer. They were the ones who made the first move. That deal was worth around £69.8 million all in, including performance-related add-ons. It should be said from the player's perspective, he hasn't made a decision yet. He's open to both projects, but one source, and I should reiterate this, only one source has told Sky Sports News that he's leaning towards Manchester United. That is if they can agree a deal, because it will all be a moot point if there's no agreement with either club, or if there's only agreement with one club, then RB Leipzig will clearly deal with that club. United's pursuit of SEŠKO, though, it could have ramifications, not least on one of their current strikers who, during the US tour, started a couple of games, was on the bench the other night, Rasmus Højlund.
And after that game against Bournemouth, he spoke to the media. He went out of his way to speak to the media in the mix zone, Rasmus Højlund, after scoring against Bournemouth. And he said he wants to stay and fight for his place. Ruben Amorim, speaking ahead of that match, said he's really happy with Rasmus Højlund, but he doesn't know what's going to happen in this transfer window. We understand, though, that Manchester United are willing to listen to suitable offers for Rasmus Højlund in this transfer window. We know that Manchester United are prioritising sales in this transfer window. They can sign Benjamin SEŠKO without making sales, but then they'd need to make sales after bringing him into the football club. So for Rasmus Højlund, let's bear in mind he's had 2 difficult years at United. United aren't in Europe next season. There are going to be very limited options. If they sign another number 9, 2 number 9s, there's not going to be a lot of football there, especially when you consider the likes of Matheus Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo can play up front as well. If United do sign SEŠKO, it does feel like Rasmus Højlund's days are potentially numbered at the football club, which will be a disappointment for him because he signed for £72 million. It'll be a disappointment for the club as well because they're likely to make a loss on him. He signed a 5-year contract after that £72 million deal was signed with Atlanta. It means his book value is currently around.
Previously suggested amid claims the midfielder prefers to remain at Valencia, though the La Liga side could yet force his hand and hand the player to the Red Devils for a discounted fee. The Red Devils are finally ready to focus on strengthening other areas of Ruben Amorim's squad after wrapping up the signing of Bryan Mbeumo from Brentford for a fee of £71 million earlier this week. And while any further arrivals at Manchester United will depend on player sales, Director of Football Jason Wilcox, alongside the manager, has made plans to welcome in 3 more signings at Old Trafford. And hopefully before the new season gets underway with a tasty home clash against Arsenal on August 170 that end. David Ornstein has confirmed the next 3 targets at Old Trafford will be a goalkeeper, a new striker to lead the line and a central midfielder to cover the exit of Christian Eriksen and to ultimately displace Casemiro, who now has under a year left on his deal. As a result, reports this week have claimed United have already reached a verbal agreement with Guerra to transfer to Old Trafford from Valencia. And with his deal due to expire in 2 years, Los Che are open to the 22-year-old sale in a bid to ease their financial difficulties. Those talks gathered further pace on Wednesday after it was claimed that Guerra had greenlit the transfer and has said yes to a summer move to Old Trafford. However, the move might not be quite as advanced as previously reported, per new information emerging in Spain. And according to Onda Cero, Guerra's priority remains on staying at the Mestalla and will only leave if shown the door. Javi Guerra is clear about it. Unless they show him the exit door and force him to leave, he wants to stay more years at the Mestalla club and become an important player, journalist Victor Luch writes. And in contrast to Christian Mosquera, who has rejected a new deal and made clear his wish to join Arsenal, Guerra is not willing to leave unless he is forcefully shown the door. Guerra knows firsthand he is a key piece in the Valencian coach's scheme, and that the team is going to pivot around his football. Meanwhile, Luch has also moved to play down talks that a verbal agreement over a move to United has been reached. The Red Devils and the Magpies have been hot on the heels of the Slovenian striker, 22, in recent weeks. SEŠKO has told both sides that he is only opening to joining them, ruling out any other clubs. SEŠKO informed his agent that he will choose between either Man United or Newcastle if he were to leave RB Leipzig this summer. The chat allegedly took place during a meeting on Sunday after SEŠKO was left out of Leipzig's squad for their friendly against Atalanta. Newcastle made their first move on Saturday with a club record offer worth £69.8 million including add-ons. but that was knocked back by Leipzig, who are now demanding £70 million guaranteed. The total package is expected to exceed £70 million when the clubs include add-ons. There's been no official bid from Man United yet, but the club are expected to launch an offer of their own